Good morning. We're talking about salt and light and us being salt and light in our worlds. And part of this whole idea of being salt and light involves us changing our perception of how we see ourselves in our world and how we see our world as well. That we start seeing ourselves as agents like God sees us, and that we see the world the way that God sees us as salt and light. I remember years ago when I was in seminary, I read an article about rural Kansas and how people in rural Kansas view everyone. And that is that you have the people who abut our property, that no matter how many acres that we have, those people are considered family. The people who we share a property line with, those are family. It doesn't matter if they're related or not. They have family status. The second group of people, let's just say we get into the car, we drive a number of miles to the town, and in that town we go to the local mercantile, the local market, and we buy a bunch of things, and we come up to the cash register. Well, there's somebody that's ringing each item in. That cash register clerk is just considered a part of the machinery. They are a part of the machinery generally of life. And then as they get back in their car and they head back toward their place, a truck full of migrant workers kind of goes by them. And those migrant workers are just basically considered scenery. They just don't even notice them as people at all. So you have family and you have machinery and you have scenery. And for me, that left a big impression on me, because I think it actually typifies how we actually see people in our lives. That the person, the clerk that's checking me out at Winco, she's not a person necessarily, except for that as I began to see people differently in this way, I've been able to kind of move people out of the scenery window. There's no way to not have some of that. But so frequently we treat people that are near field, that are really pretty close to us, as just pieces of the machinery, instead of looking them in the eyes and engaging them and being salt and being light and encouraging them, catching them do it right. Attaboy, all these different things, asking them questions about them. How's your day going? All those different kind of things. And that just changes the texture of life in such a meaningful and kind of an incredible way. I want to challenge you to do that, to ask God to help you see people differently, and then start treating them differently. Salt and light.